Welcome. Welcome back and welcome home. This is Melissa, your multi-dimensional cosmic tour guide, coming to you from my home offices in the Sedona, Arizona areas in spaces and places and vortexes. We're going to do a little bit of a talk about guides and guardian angels and the ancestors and our ancestors today. And we're going to do a little bit of explaining on what's going on in these awakenings and our connections with the ancestors, our guides and guardian angels. So I'm going to go ahead and start as I sit overlooking Boynton Canyon and some of my favorite rock formations and energies in the Sedona area. Again, my office. I am really grateful to be here with you guys today. The first message that I've been receiving is overall, our ancestors, our loved ones that are in spirit, our family lines, our past, our timelines, our DNA, our everything is being washed and cleaned and cleared and, as I like to say, de-loused. And the ancestors' messages over time throughout history have sometimes been distorted a little bit. And maybe we didn't understand all the way. Our human minds couldn't understand some of the pieces that the divine was trying to tell us or help us with. And now is a really good time in this gateway time, this opening of time, to not go back to sleep and remember who we are. And who we are the ancestors. We are the light. And remembrance of who you are is the awakening part theme, and the freedom of understanding is what we're going through. And so the ancestors of the new earth energy, the purified, Christed ancestors, are saying that they are here to help all of us get up off the ground after such tumultuous times and confusions and doubts and feeling disconnected from source. The truth is, we've been really going through it so that we can truly walk out of that lower matrix that's been holding on to us and not letting us go. And I just was, running around my offices, sometimes are on wheels, moving around today in Sedona, and I glanced over in my car at the passenger seat, and I felt and I saw a friend of mine that's passed over across in spirit several years, and he also was with me just for a brief moment or two or three or four or five as I moved out of the really emergent situation I was in my home origins places and moved back to Sedona, Arizona, to my home base and offices. So it was I just felt a wash feeling of love. And that's when he said, "See, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're back." And it was washing through me, that pure love and that just delight and joy that is just in us, that really gets covered up, smashed, broken, hurt, distorted. And so the ancestors, and apparently one of my friend soul family ancestors, is here to help us a little bit, and yours are too. And whatever circumstances or wherever you live, whatever you do in this world, that is part of you and part of your Christed, balanced, divine, masculine, feminine, true, sacred union in yourself. And there are a couple of guides I was thinking about today because I'm just, in my own self-work over all the years, working through things that are just barbaric and painful and traumatizing and things like that. And I know most of you also have some of those pieces. It might be totally different circumstances or script, as I call it. And this is what the ancestors want to talk about, is that the matrix or the world reality that we live in is kind of like a lot of movies playing all at once. So imagine all the movies that you've ever seen and all the books you've ever read and all the stories you've ever heard, including other people's lives, including your life, and including other places, countries, cultures, everywhere you've never been and you don't really know very much about. There's all kinds of movies. and all kinds of belief systems. And they're all running around us at all times. And that is indeed what is sort of imprinted into the earth, especially in different places. We feel different energies in different places. Some are really beautiful and bright and light, and there is light and beauty in some places. Like, for instance, my offices in Sedona, Arizona, that are sometimes on wheels, and other places they're different, but also hold that light and that beauty. And we have ley lines and vortexes and energy signatures and frequencies of places, as well as historical imprints and things like that. And some of you might know that one of my favorite places is Tombstone, Arizona, which I don't really like, Old West-ish themes that much. I don't know what happened to me, but it is one of my favorite places, and there's a cool vibe there, and the mining towns and things like that are important to me. And some of those energies are not always great. But remember, in each place and space, and each place and space in yourself, there are different movie themes, book themes, stories being told. And some of us have been around people that we could call the darker people that have a different narrative, and they want to impose that, project that upon you. So as I saw my friend in spirit today riding with me in the car, and it prompted me to come here and overlook this gorgeous, glorious beauty and pray and work on connecting with Source and asking what I can know right now, and prompted to do this video. The answer is that in the ley lines in us, and in the ley lines in each space and place that we're at, and in places where our heart is at. Like, if you live far away from where you grew up, or if you have a particular love for Greece, but you've never been there, there are pieces that we can resonate with in different places and spaces. And we are cleansing and clearing and recoding. And as I've said for over a decade, we are here to rewrite the scripts. And we're here to correct the movies and finish up with some of the gross movies, like the zombie apocalypses and the vampires and the dark magicians taking over stuff, and pain and war and suffering and things like that. Because get this, the end of times is a reminder of us to go, hey, would you like to end that movie? Because that's a stupid one and a gross one, and we don't want that running in our light grid, our matrix anymore. So things with hate and killing and hunger and yearning, separation, loss, lack, grief, suffering, crime, manipulation, cheating, everything that causes pain and suffering is bubbling up from the earth and from each one of us. And it just zings around and tangles back and forth. So the loved ones in spirit, our guides and guardian angels, are saying, so it's time to go. End. Done. End. And I'm going to ask one layer further that we can perceive with our human minds, which would be the Akashic records that I talk about, and they are real, valuable, true. The Akashic records actually hold the soul contracts of what we chose to come here for in the last eras and cycles. And if you have anything that's really hard for you to release and let go and heal from, I think all of us have some of that. If we have any systems or belief systems that we don't even know we're carrying, or that have been imposed, or restrictions, blocks, hurts, wounds. There's been a whole lot of people purposely trying to impose their karma or their dark energy or movies upon people, the light beings especially. And so we're going to ask that is cleared out to the beginning of time and back, as we are in these ending and beginnings, these deaths and rebirth times of the eras of the times we came here to participate in and be a part of. So we're going to ask that anything of lower vibration that is not for our highest good, anything projected upon us or spoken about us or done to us in the dark, be cleansed and cleared out of every layer, out of every timeline, out of our Akash, out of our mind, body, spirit, soul forms in every level, in every way, out of our hearts, out of our daily life experiences. And if we can imagine our daily life experience being many movies, we can expect in these days to come a remembrance of who we are and awakening more. But we can also expect the answers to come to us to clean up our daily life, to clean up the world stage, to clean up in that Christed energy so that our true divine matrix is connected to the divinity of the universe and back into God's source creator. So I'm going to ask again, with all of our guides, guardian angels, loved ones, our teams of pure divine light only, and the sacred light of this earth, of Mother Earth, and every aspect, every layer of the earth's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual energy forms, and our Akashic records, our timelines, our past lives, our DNA, our etheric DNA and codes and makeup. I ask for it all to be cleared out, anything unlike or not of pure divine light and source, creator, purity, Christed purity. And I ask for that to continue for the next days, weeks, months, years, whatever we need. Each and every one of us, whatever this earth needs, whatever our reality needs, to continue to move forward in grace and peace and in love, the state of being in love, so that we continue to walk through gateways, portals, doorways of new beginnings and rebirth, restoration, instead of get stuck or fall back into those death traps, those shadows, those valleys. And we're figuring out that our guides and guardian angels have always been here as well. And if you have been feeling like I can't feel them anymore, I'm not with them, remember some of the last eras, the last cycles and phases, design was to block us from that state of love and connection with all that is. And that's being undone, and it'll be coming in and connecting and healing and enhancing in different ways that you and I and those in them might expect. And it brings us back into harmony, which is Christed balance, divine masculine and feminine in everything that is. So that's what the twin flame journey has been about as well. And the ancestors' message today is, it matters not what language or belief system you love the most, the path that you love. It's clearing, and the purification of that will help each and every one of us on earth, whether we have differences in opinions, whether we have differences in the way we look at things or perceive things or do things. But it will clear and cleanse each of our many, 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 many movies that are on screen right now, moving through our minds, moving through our hearts, moving through our everyday lives, and cleansing it out and making it like some really happy endings and some really happy, healthy, fun, laughter, joyous, beautiful, amazing, spectacular, epic sagas for each one of us in peace and grace and love and joy. And if we ask for peace and strength and love and all of those things, it doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be airy-fairy. What the designs of that lower matrix, the fallen Garden of Eden, the darkness was trying to trick us into thinking is that we needed a lot of passion and things to bounce around a lot and surprise us, of lower, heavy, dark natures. And that's not true. Passion is beautiful and fun and amazing. And love is fun and joyous and fulfilling and freeing. And those things are going to be what we're holding and meditating for and asking the universe of pure divine light, God source creator, for in each one of our movies and scripts and lives. And that we can just hear those ends of the movies completing, that had the narcissists and had the liars and had the vampires and had the just, psychological thrillers that killed people and hurt people and twisted things. And with this, in the days and weeks and months ahead, in your restoration, in your awakenings, and whatever that means, it will be right for you. And you will feel that reinforcement and remembrance of who you are and your missions and purposes, and just freedom will be really, really, really received in new, better, bigger ways than ever. So the ancestors are also saying that you have always been safe, no matter what has happened. And as the seasons change in your life, in your movies, in your surroundings, and in the weathers, just know everything can be okay. Hold that there's plenty of water here. There's plenty of safety. There's plenty of food. And it can rewrite into our scripts those places where there are a lot of fear, lack, and distortion still rambling and being rambunctious in our very existence. So I've got a big, big group of loved ones that are crossed over in spirit. Always for all these many decades, I talk to their higher selves, and they're standing in a line holding hands. And I don't know most of these beings, these people, but they're saying that they know us and they are here to support us. And even though they are in spirit, a different dimension or density, they are too walking up the steps to the heaven on earth and coming out of the darkest, most painful places that they were in their lifetimes. And we are all awakening together. So I really think that's beautiful. And the ancestors, it would be sort of like the council or the elders looking over our world and the way things are going in God, source, creator, purity, Christed purity. They're saying it is as it is meant to be, and you are safe. One of them says, yes, welcome home. And the theme will be freedom and love, and recognizing that that can be your everlasting reality, whether you're in a physical body or you're not. And everything's going to be okay. Everything's all right. And my friend that I saw riding in the car is here, and he says there has been so much cleansing and clearing from the light beings that has been done. Disease, pain, suffering, fear, that he is saying, good job, everybody. And you are at the right place at the right time. And just know that there's more coming in for each of us, like where we will know inside, our hearts will tell us. You don't need anyone else to tell you what to do, but your hearts will tell us. Our hearts will tell us what our next steps, purposes, missions, and passions are. And you'll be remembering those things that make you happy that we pretty much forgot, that others tried to smash, and the stories told about you in your movies. If someone called you crazy or blamed you for something that is not true, or if you just kept not having enough money, or, things that you worked hard for being taken or stolen, if everyone kept cheating and lying to you, or all those things that have happened in different ways and different levels in our lives, those things are being corrected in our scripts. And that's what you can hold these days, these upcoming days and weeks and months and years, so that the children, the beautiful children being born, can really have a skill set and be taught at very early ages how to stay in the now and stay in that really higher frequency in their everyday lives and manifest and create, and really be free from some of the things that us geezers and the old eras, dark ages, gave to us. And the ancestors are bowing. And to me, this rock formation over here is always sacred light ancestors. And we give thanks and hold gratitude, grace and peace and love, serenity, harmony, joy, laughter, fun, giggling, freedom, richness and abundance, connection and compassion, nourishment, fulfillment, satisfaction, wholeness, happiness, healthiness, clarity, expansion, rejuvenation, love. And that's what we're being called to do in these next days, weeks, and months. So welcome home, everyone. Thank you all so much for the likes, the shares, and the subscribes, the loving support, and being you. Thank you for being your true starseed selves, your true earth angel selves. I'm honored to walk with you.